head coach next season. Mike McCarthy will not return as Dallas's head coach, a source told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Monday. McCarthy's contract with the Cowboys expired last Wednesday, but the team held an exclusive negotiating window with the coach until Tuesday at midnight. However, the sides did not have any negotiations regarding a new deal, according to sources.
Yeah, big news coming out of the NFL. Adam Schefter with us. He broke it this afternoon. Adam, this was one of those situations we were waiting to see what was going to happen in Dallas. We now know that Mike McCarthy will not be the head coach. What more can you tell us?
Well, it's a situation where tomorrow night, Tuesday at midnight, he was eligible to speak with other teams. And the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy have had plenty of conversations about football and what the future might look like for the Dallas Cowboys, but at no point did the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy discuss the terms of a new contract. McCarthy expected to be moving on, and the Dallas Cowboys essentially made it official, saying that the two sides had agreed to part ways, with the Dallas Cowboys now seeking a new head coach, and with Mike McCarthy in the coaching market set to become a free agent, where he is expected to draw interest from, amongst others, the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints.
All right, we welcome in Stephen A. Smith because obviously this is your favorite team. We've been talking about what Dallas should do with McCarthy for a while now. What do you make of this news out of Dallas?
It's disappointing. I'm not surprised, but Jerry Jones just seems to be all over the place, and I think that's what you have to point to when you're looking at this situation. Obviously, you're Mike McCarthy. He's had back-to-back 12 or 5 seasons before the Dallas Cowboys, lost 10 games this year. We understand that, but we also understand Dak Prescott got hurt. We also look at Jerry Jones, some of the decisions that he's made that pretty much impeded their success, one would argue. You waited till forever to negotiate the deal and close the deal with Dak Prescott. Prior to that, it was CeeDee Lamb. Had you done the work earlier, you would have been in a situation where you could have positioned yourself to have more money to go out there and, dare I say, get a Derrick Henry who wanted to be there, who lives in Dallas in the off season, who basically said for the record that he wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy, but they never even gave him a phone call. So you look at things like that and you just say to yourself, Jerry Jones seems to be all over the place right now. I don't believe that Mike McCarthy is the greatest coach in the world, but he is a Super Bowl champion. He is right when he says that. He is right when he said he won a title in this building. He is right when he says that he's accustomed to winning football games because he certainly won more than he has lost. And if you're Jerry Jones waiting for stuff to get down to the last minute like this, really was unnecessary, but nevertheless, they steal headlines, and that's what Jerry Jones is an expert at doing.
Yeah, Stephen A. hit on it. Jerry Jones knows what it's like to market this Dallas Cowboys franchise into the preeminent franchise in all of American sports. And Adam Schefter, here's what's interesting as you look at the timeline under Mike McCarthy. Stephen A. said he took this right up into the last minute, which he did. But he also denied permission from McCarthy to talk to the Chicago Bears just a couple of days after he said he was going to let McCarthy, quote, go talk. So why did he make that decision to not let him speak with the Bears if, in fact, we were going to end up where we ended up this afternoon?
Well, Matt, what I would say is the timing of all this is peculiar in a number of ways. Number one, they denied Mike McCarthy the permission to talk to the Chicago Bears. Now, Mike McCarthy can go speak to the Chicago Bears this week, so it really is a non-factor with him. But take a look at the timing of what Dallas did here, because now there is a window to be able to talk to Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy, Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. If you wanted to talk to any of those 4 coaches, the time to do it was last week. Now, the Cowboys cannot even speak to them until after their season ends. If either one of those teams were to advance to the Super Bowl, the soonest the Cowboys could talk to any of them would be February 10th. So essentially, they limited themselves there. Mike Vrabel gets a job in New England. Bill Belichick's in North Carolina. So there are any number of coaching candidates that by the timing of the Dallas decision, the Cowboys could not consider or could not speak with. So Mike McCarthy will be fine with the Chicago Bears or the New Orleans Saints, 2 teams that are expected to be interested in his services. But the Dallas Cowboys, with their timing, essentially put themselves at something of a disadvantage, and now they're playing catch-up with the rest of the teams that have openings.
Stephen A., I think that's one of the biggest questions, because the conversation that we had last week was the fact that Mike McCarthy wasn't able to talk to the Bears, and we thought that was doing him a disservice. Now Adam obviously laying out all the ways that Jerry Jones has put his team in a vicarious position. What do you make of what he's doing?
Slippage on the part of Jerry Jones. There's no other way to slice it. Now, I'm not going to go as far as the kind of slippage that we saw from President Biden as recently as a year ago. I'm not going to go that far, but clearly there's some slippage there. And I'm not saying anything that I haven't said on the record already, because it makes no sense what's going on, the delays, the wait. And if you don't want to say slippage, guys, fine. Here's what I'll throw in your direction, which is more plausible for people to stomach. This man believes it's such a privilege to work for the Dallas Cowboys that he believes he can move at his own pace. When I sat down with him face-to-face and interviewed him earlier this year with my podcast, what he said was, hey, didn't I get it done? At the end of the day, didn't it happen? And I'm like, yeah, but look at how long you waited and look at what opportunities you missed out on. He said those weren't opportunities we were interested in exploring anyway. He has this mindset that it's such a privilege to be associated with the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, worth $11 billion. Never mind that they haven't been to a conference championship game, let alone won a Super Bowl in the last 29 years and counting. He's Jerry Jones. It's the Dallas Cowboys, and it doesn't matter what they want or what they need. His mentality is, at the end of the day, we're the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to get it done, despite evidence, a profound level of evidence to the contrary.
I want to ask you, Stephen A., because you mentioned that it's a privilege to coach for the Cowboys. It's America's team.
He said that.
He said, Jerry Jones thinks it's a privilege to coach for the Cowboys. Do you think that a coach should want to coach for Jerry Jones?
I would say yes, if you're strong enough to tell him this is what we're going to do. In other words, when you're on that sideline and you're coaching during the games, you don't want to hear from him. As you're preparing up to the week, you'll listen to what he has to say, you'll inhale it, you'll digest it, you'll decide what's better, what isn't, etc. But ultimately, I think you need a strong personality that has a personal relationship with Jerry Jones, not to give him the back off, because he's never going to back off. Why? Because this is lifeblood. When I talked to him, Adam, when I talked to him, guys, he said to me, hey, he said, this is how I stay young. I love this. Surrounding myself with young people, energetic folks, the fervor, the passion. They fill me up. And he talked about it. And he was dead serious about it. He means it with every core of his being. He's one of those guys that comes across to me, y'all. If he stops being a part of the Dallas Cowboys, if he would have stepped back and just be an owner and not be the president and the GM, he believes he'd wither away. And he doesn't want that. So because of that is why he is so entrenched in things, which means that in order to work with him, you have to be the kind of personality that's strong enough to do your thing, but in the same breath, you have such a connection and an affection to him that you can convince him to listen to you more than not. And I think that's the only situation that's going to work for a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, as long as Jerry Jones is the owner there.
Stephen A., coaching the Dallas Cowboys is different than coaching the other 31 franchises.
Absolutely.
For any number of reasons. But one of the primary ones is how involved Jerry Jones is with that team. How many other owners do we see holding weekly press conferences, post-game updates right after the game, during the week, talking about the state of the franchise, delivering information that a coach sometimes would wonder why certain things are being said? How many teams do we see the tours being given that we've heard about within the facility? How many teams do we see get the type of attention and scrutiny that the Dallas Cowboys get? There are a whole set of issues that come along with coaching the Dallas Cowboys. Saying that, there are coaches that would kill to do it. They would love to do that. But it is a different experience than coaching anywhere else in the National Football League.
And Schefter, you hit on it. I spent 5 years in Dallas covering the Dallas Cowboys, traveling with the Dallas Cowboys. I was there after Bill Parcells was let go. Well, what happened when Bill Parcells was let go and a strong personality? They brought in Wade Phillips, a guy that is quiet, kind of just goes about his way because the personality.
And then Jason Garrett.
Parcells, and then Jason Garrett. And so, to your point, as we pivot now to the coaching, it takes a different type of personality because Bill Parcells was too much. Wade Phillips wasn't enough. Jason Garrett seemed to be right down the middle. So, Adam Schefter, I could give you 10 names that I think fit the bill for the Dallas Cowboys, at least what Jerry Jones thinks is good. What are you hearing about potential candidates for the Cowboys and who might fit this role?
Give me 10 names, Matt. Go ahead. We'll shoot them down and we'll prop him up. What do you
Shoot him
think?
down. Because I only got one. I only got one.
I could.
Yeah.
I could
Wait, who's
see
your
him
one
being
name,
enamored-
Stephen A? Wait, hold
yeah,
on.
go there.
Hold on. Stephen A, who's your one name?
Prime time Deion Sanders.
No, Stephen. That's
Yes.
the one
That doesn't
thing
work.
that wouldn't work
No.
Because
because Deion wants to be the star. Jerry wants to be the star.
Hey, stop right
You
there.
have
Stop
two-
right there.
Yeah.
Stop right there. Let me pause you. Deion, no. Deion doesn't want to be the star. He is. There's a difference. He is. He walks into it. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to pursue it. He doesn't have to crave it. It is wherever he goes. So if you're Jerry Jones and you talking to everybody, it don't affect Deion because Deion, it ain't gonna stop Deion from receiving his shine because he's magnetic. It automatically comes with him. That's my point. And he loves
The
Jerry.
only star,
Jerry loves him.
the only star
Okay.
he
Well,
wants
hold on.
is the star in the helmet.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Deion
Jeff.
Sanders, I think, is staying in Colorado and
what?
wouldn't be interested in coming to the NFL unless he
Right.
were somehow matched with his son Shador. And Shador's not going to Dallas. So, Matt, let's go on to your suggestions. Who do you got?
Give him the
You know
list
who
of
I
10
think? You
candidates.
know who I honestly think he'll be enamored by? I think he'd be enamored by a coach like Lincoln Riley, another coach like Steve Sarkisian at Texas, and I can see him being really enamored by Cliff
Hold it.
Kingsbury, offensive coordinator in Washington.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're giving the names you think would be good. We're
just
talking
said.
about. I'm saying, we're talking about who plausibly. I mean, the best situation for dealing with Jerry. Lincoln Riley, please learn to win at USC. Get that out the way, okay? Don't bring him up. Steve Sarkisian, it's nice to see you in the college football playoffs, all right? But damn it, you got to win something first. You ain't Nick Saban, so we got to throw that out the way. I would tell you, I give you one more name, Deion, for the name I read for the reason I already gave you. Hey, who's to say Bill Belichick has to honor his agreement with North Carolina? Leave. Yeah,
He's not leaving.
No,
He's
he
not leaving.
can't
Hold
leave,
on.
I know that.
Hold on.
I know
He's
that.
Not, he's
but
not.
I'm saying,
Okay.
who's
And
to
by
say?
the way, and Matt and Stephen A., the last name that Matt said was Cliff Kingsbury. And this, again, I think points out a little bit of the way that things work in Dallas. You're bringing up, Matt, the offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. Who's the head coach of the Washington Commanders?
Quinn.
Dan Quinn, who was in Dallas last year, at the end of the last year, and basically was waiting to see if he would have a head coaching opportunity in Dallas, which decided to keep
But Adam.
McCarthy or let Dan Quinn go. So they let Dan Quinn go to Washington to establish his culture there, and then a year later move on from Mike McCarthy when Dan Quinn would be an ideal candidate, and you let him walk out the door a year ago.
Well, wait a minute. What about the year before when they let Kellen Moore walk out the door to go to the Chargers before he ends up in Philadelphia this past year? And why did that happen?
Well, they
Because
could go
Mike
hire
McCarthy-
him. They could go hire him now.
That's what I
Stephen A.
said.
They could
That's
go hire
what
him.
I'm saying. All right, fine. That's what I'm saying. But Mike McCarthy, what did he do? Hey, listen, I think, we got a high-powered offense, number 2 ranked offense in the National Football League. But you know what? We could run the ball. We could run the ball more. We're throwing the ball entirely too much. We're endangering Dak Prescott. He should go. Let me call the plays. Jerry Jones obliges. He capitulates to that. What does Mike McCarthy do? Same damn thing Kellen Moore did. You see, this is the kind of stuff that you got to pay attention to as well. You can't ignore that. Kellen Moore's out there again. You bring up Dan Quinn, and he left. I get all of that. But in the end, you either need a personality that ain't affected by the shine that Jerry Jones wants and is in pursuit of, or you got a guy total opposite that doesn't give a damn about what Jerry Jones does. As long as he gets to coach the team, he doesn't even want to talk to the media. That's the only reason I brought up with Bill Belichick, who, by the way, has $1 million buyout, if I remember correctly, after 1 year at North Carolina. He's sure planning on staying there. Yeah, in the summer. He's sure planning on staying there long term. Brought his son there and everything. Oh, he's planning on staying there. Oh, he's going to be a Tar Heel for life. Stop it. We know better. We know better.
All right, we'll see
We
what
know
happens
that.
in Dallas. Stephen A., great to have you on SportsCenter. Thanks for joining us to talk about.
Bro, I can't believe I went 13 and
Yeah,
1.
Jones guys in this game again, bro. He was doing pretty good.
Nuh-uh, for real? For real?
Yeah,
Yo,
he's,
that's
he's
fire,
the-
bro. That's fire.
But I'm hungry.
360 no scope, sir.
Okay. Get kills with these weapons to win.
Damn, crip off talking this shit.
Damn.
Fuck! The Jonah dude killed the fuck out of me.
This nigga done motored my ass, boy.
Who?
Some dude. I don't know who the fuck it was. I was already in the shotgun.
You almost had me, sir.
King Aries right there. Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Alright, he got you. Get him, Tristan. Fuck him up. Tell him to fuck him up.
10 seconds.
Gonna be a hit marker. It's silenced.
Let's go.
What are you doing?
Nice work.
What are you doing?
He could have had that. He could have had that. He literally sat there.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know why.
He could have killed you so easy. He made that easy for us.
Them trash cans, dude.
That was probably the 1 and 8 dude.
Probably was.
Hey, do you think it's a good thing Madeline and I broke up?
Yeah. 100%.
For some
Why?
reason I can't stop like thinking about it. Like she was like a good person, but like I don't think us as a relationship was good.
She cheated on you, dude.
I know. But I mean like I kind of see like why, cuz like I was kind of shitty to her in like the aspect where I was like she was trying to have sex and I was kind of like just like you can. Yeah, she cheated on me twice. She cheated on me twice. How can I say that?
Are you like unless you're like beating her? No, there's no like no
Yeah, I
valid
would, like-
excuse.
Sub-Zero. Sit down. Scorpion. Special Forces Desert Command. Round one, fight.
got this. One more to go. Now that was a fight. Solid work.
Sub-Zero. Down. Scorpion. Special Forces Desert Command. Round 1, fight.